Have you ever thought about the most impossible places to live in America? This isn't about cost, but a daily fight for survival. I know you're tough and resilient, but these places definitely leave you broken. Here are the 10 hardest places you would hardly survive in America. Welcome to the northmost point in the entire United States, Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow. You don't live here, you survive here. It has 65 days of straight darkness, polar night every winter. The average annual temperature is about 14 degrees. Everything, and I mean everything, has to be flown in, making it one of the most expensive places in America to buy groceries. This is where it gets really crazy. Your biggest enemy is the cold and the cost of keeping a pulse. If your furnace fails in January, that's a life-threatening scenario, not an inconvenience. And while wondering how unforgiving the cold can be, the heat of the next location is on another level. If Utqiagvik is cold and the cost of living is very high, Supai is hard because of god-tier logistics. Forget roads. Access is only via an 8-mile trail or a costly, weather-dependent helicopter. The population is around 200, primarily the Supai tribe members. There are no banks, no gas stations, and no chain stores. Here's the trade-off. Out here, your only option when it comes to mobility is the mule train and a helicopter, or you're trapped. If you can handle the isolation created by nature, let's see if you can handle the blizzard. You might know this town because it bought the old London Bridge and plopped it right in the middle of the Arizona desert. But Lake Havasu is on this list for one reason: extreme, relentless heat. While it's not economically devastated, the health cost of surviving here is insane. Heat stroke is a daily threat, and if the power goes out in July, your house quickly becomes an oven. Living here means being a climate refugee in your own home for at least 4 months of the year. Your greatest skill is maintaining your HVAC unit and staying indoors. If you can survive the heat, can you survive poverty? Memphis appears to be the capital of economic headache, with a startling rate of poverty resulting in a wave of hardship that simply will not stop. It routinely contends for the title of the city with the highest violent crime rate in the country, and it has an insanely high murder rate. Here's a survival trade-off. You can get a beautiful home at a giveaway price, but these are just decoys. Many neighborhoods have been abandoned and neglected. Not only that, life in Memphis means constantly navigating risk for reward. Even though it's a gorgeous, resilient city, the economic struggle can be physically seen. While Memphis is battling for safety, Detroit is striving for stability. Different battlegrounds, same experience. You know the story, the fall of the Motor City. Detroit is no longer that place where you can get affordable homes. It's become an active urban experiment. While the city center is enjoying tech innovations, more developed areas in Detroit are in chronic poverty with an ever-increasing crime rate. Living here means you're not just buying a house, you're taking on a major challenge. You might get a cheap home, but it could come with lots of problems, like a lot of repairs. Survival here, it's risky because the neighborhood is rough. However, if it improves, the rewards can be huge. If Detroit is a test of your grit, the Nevada desert will definitely test your tenacity. Tonopah is a historic mining town that proves being isolated isn't just about distance, it's about the landscape itself. Located almost exactly halfway between Las Vegas and Reno, Tonopah is famous for one thing: being in the exact middle of nowhere. If you're a prepper, this is your dream city. Open space, clean air, and neighbors who live 20 miles away. But self-reliance is not an option. A blown tire, a broken AC unit, or a medical emergency can quickly become critical due to the enormous distances to any major service center. This is where your skills matter more than your money. From the vast open deserts of Nevada, we move to a place where isolation is shaped not just by distance, but by nature itself. Angle Inlet is the northmost point of the lower 48 states. It's located in a geographical quirk known as the Northwest Angle. The population is around 60 people. No year-round roads connect it directly to the rest of the country, so getting anywhere requires effort. If you need gas or groceries, you either have to cross an international border or wait until winter to ride a snowmobile across the frozen lake. The economy runs purely on seasonal fishing, ice houses, and tourism. However, this place is a fortress of natural beauty and quietness. But survival here means accepting that even a basic errand would require a passport and the skill set. You have to navigate the deadly cold and blizzard just to get to your destination. Even though the angler lives by water, the next place is the complete opposite. Baltimore is a city moving at two very different speeds, a park and a fast lane. The inner harbor with its luxury condos, polished waterfront, and seafood festivals. The others moving more slowly than a snail, comprising neighborhoods that feel abandoned and forgotten. Baltimore didn't collapse, it fractured from its core. It's the place where history and hyper-modern decay shared the same zip code. But beyond that, the economic divide is a literal line you can see on Google Maps. The poverty and crime rates are unyielding. The infrastructure is buckling under the weight of decades of deferred maintenance. This is how bad it is. You can rent a decent apartment near Johns Hopkins for a fraction of what it costs in DC, but your car insurance premium is comparable to a mortgage payment. Baltimore is a testament to resilience. It's gritty, full of culture, and fiercely local. If you can survive the bureaucracy and the crime rate in Baltimore, you might be ready for something stronger. The Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is consistently ranked as one of the poorest places in the entire United States. This isn't an isolated town. It's a vast territory where the economic and health crises are systemic. It's been like this for generations, and no one is doing anything about it. Unemployment rates routinely sit between 80 and 90%. Median income is near the bottom of the U.S. scale. Life expectancy is shockingly low compared to some of the poorest countries in the world. Access to basic health care, fresh groceries, and infrastructure is incredibly limited. This is a survival challenge based not on climate, but on a crushing lack of resources. To live here is to confront the painful history and current reality of American inequality. The people here are fierce survivors, deeply connected to their Oglala Lakota heritage, but the daily challenges are overwhelming and devastating. And if you thought you've seen worse, this is the mother of them all. A single 14-story building that houses virtually the entire town of 270 people. Whittier is a former military outpost on Prince William Sound, and its residents live in the Begitch Towers. Everything is inside. The post office, the grocery store, the police station, the church, the laundromat, and the school. The only way in or out is by boat or through a single 2.5-mile long tunnel that closes every night. If you miss the tunnel curfew, you're sleeping in your car outside. The climate is coastal Alaskan, endless rain, heavy snow, and limited daylight. And this is where it gets scary. If conflict arises, there's no escaping it. The social pressure in this tiny, isolated town is intense, but the extreme climate and literal cutoff point of the tunnel is a hard reality. This makes Whittier the most unique and arguably the hardest place to live in America. Which of these places do you think you could actually survive in? Drop your answer in the comments and tell me why. Don't forget to like this video so we can keep uncovering these hidden corners of American life. And subscribe, because when you decide to escape, this channel is the map